Hello everybody, welcome back to Holly Ridge Homestead. I'm Chris, and I'm trying to get some burning done. I've got so much on the ground from the past storms and everything that when spring and summer gets here, I probably won't be able to burn in here because of the fact that I'll probably scold some good trees, a lot of pine straw on the ground. I'm afraid the fire would get away from me, so I'm trying to get as much of these tops burned as I possibly can. But my problem is things are wet, so I plan on making a lot of burn piles today, trying to get at least one of these things going hot enough to where I can keep adding to it. I've got trees all around me that I can just bring to it. It's too wet to bring the tractor in here. It's I don't want to tear up the ground. My Polaris is dragging on the ground in some of the areas. I haven't got roads built for heavy equipment back here yet, or cars, just, you know, Polarises, four-wheelers, stuff like that. My tractor would be fine, but I just don't want to road up my property. But so I'm gonna get this fire going, and then I'm gonna start dragging stuff to it and see if I can't do a little burning today. It's pretty today. It's mid 40s, so the fire is keeping me warm, of course, moving around stuff. This will be part of the area where we're going to be building the house, which is just about 100 yards that direction. So we're on the opposite end of our property. We may end up having the house face west because of the view once I clean up underneath the underbrush, lift limb everything up to probably 6 to 10 foot, depending on how high I want to go. It'll give us the best view, and then off the back of the porch, we'll never have anybody build anywhere close to us because we're building on the far back side of our property, and also pretty much in the middle of our property. So, and we're surrounded by a large on the south, running east and west, is a really large creek. It's probably, well, you've seen my squirrel hunting video with the mountain cur dogs. You see how deep that that creek was. So we'll never have anybody build anywhere to where we'll probably be able to see them, but we still have leased deer hunting land around us. So you might wonder why we call this place Holly Ridge Homestead. Holly Ridge came from the fact that we have, all right, so this is I've limbed this one up. This is a holly tree, and we're on a ridge. I don't know if you can see back here, all the green. Now we're dead in the middle of winter. All the green that you're seeing is holly trees. Let me spin you around and I'll show you a lot more. So all that green is holly trees. We've already pulled all the holly trees out of this area. That's why you're not seeing anything. This is where we're thinking about building the house, and it's up on top of this ridge, and the ridge runs that direction this way, and it's very long, and it goes to the road that will build our main road from, which is further back that way. Back in December, my daughter got a metal detector, and while I was doing the burning back here, letting it burn down, it was still kind of dry, and I had to be careful about things taking off and catching fire. I wanted to use her metal detector, just kind of metal detect, see what was going on back here. And where I'm standing right now, I'm finding a lot of square head nails. That were hand forged, obviously, back in the 1800s. And you might not be able to tell, but where these two big pine trees are, right through here, there's some water berms, agriculture berms. And right here, I'm finding tons of square head nails. Not finding too many off that way. I'm not finding anything else anywhere else as far as square head nails. You follow this ridge on down, you cross the creek, you come back up right almost out towards the main road. I found a wagon wheel nut. At first I didn't know what it was. Just put it in my bag and took it home because I thought it was too new. It had finer threads than what I thought would be back in the 1800s. And we were watching Men Who Built America, and believe it or not, something caught my eye. A wagon came by, and for some reason they focused in on the wagon wheel, and I seen that nut. Well, at first I didn't know what it was, but I seen the wagon wheel nut. I stopped the show and Googled it and compared it to mine, and it was identical match. I was so excited. So that led me to asking the previous landowners about the property, and their family has been here since 1907. Now, reading in the history books of our parish, it talks about our area, and I'm not going to give you the exact location. There was about 30 families in this area that farmed, so all this land at one time was cut down. There was a sawmill that's no longer in existence. When they first started developing this back in the early 1800s, I'm gonna say it's about 6 miles from here. So all the trees, you know, obviously were cut down and milled up for production. So there's a lot of water berms through agriculture terrace, water berms through all these woods and stuff. And we're not a flat. We're living in Louisiana, but we're not flat. And where I'm at, there's lots of ridges and lots of it's a higher elevation than most people in Louisiana. And so they're all throughout the woods are these water berms. So anyways, I'm kind of getting off subject here. So I talked to the previous landowner, and he grew up on this property, and he's in his mid-60s. He doesn't recall any buildings that were ever back here that he can remember playing when he was a little kid. So I talked to the person I actually bought the land from. She's in her late 60s, and they cannot recall any structures that were right here. So I'm thinking that at one point this could have been a true old homestead. I just think the history of it's pretty neat. Maybe one day I'll share more where we are, because it has some really deep history that goes back to the Civil War and even further on. But so I just wanted to share with you why we called it Holly Ridge Homestead. Now I'm a little further into the hollies. I'll just kind of show you guys real quick. So like I said, all that green is some holly trees, and they're pretty large. And we actually have some further in here that are as large as my waist. I have about a 32-inch waist. So holly trees take a long time to grow, and it's pretty neat back here. We will thin out a lot of the hollies, but obviously we'll keep some because they're just a pretty tree. They put a pretty berry during the winter. So I'll try to show you guys. I'm gonna say about right here, and that's west, how I'm thinking about putting the house. So let me turn around here. So I'm burning over there right now, and you might be able to see my machine through the woods. It's a very gentle slope, and it has probably about a 20-foot drop. So we'll stay dry up here. I don't have to worry about ever being flooded out up here. Now the creek, the major creek that's right here on the edge of the property, would be the only thing that I need to worry about during flash floods. So I will be building the house pad up, probably 2, maybe 3 feet total of the highest elevation right here, and then sloping everything off. So if we do have a flash flood, we should be fine, and we'll survive back here. If this ever floods out back here, then all Louisiana's in trouble. I've warmed up a lot because I got a fire now. It's going now. All that pine straw, that's like kindling, and of course that was dry limbs. So I'm probably gonna be able to get this pile burnt down and just add more to it. I wish I had enough room back here to work with my tractor. I wish it was dry enough that I could work with my tractor. But hey, I'm getting a little bit done, little at a time. Little at a time. Guys, thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate you checking out our channel, seeing the things that we do here. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like it, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.